Frankfurt am Main.
Table of contents. Frankfurt.
All about Frankfurt. With visiting and touring information, geography, history, attractions, and other points of interest.
Dr. Sydney Soclof. drsydney22@gmail.com. 2024.
Welcome. I am Dr. Sydney Soclof. I will be presenting this lecture together with two of my esteemed colleagues, Professor Nathan Koltov and Dr. Zoe Phonemes. I hope that you will learn a lot from it.
Hello. I am Professor Nathan Koltov. I am a Gator from Gainesville, Florida. And I am happy to join with my colleague, Dr. Zoe Phonemes, in bringing you this interesting presentation.
Hey there. I am Dr. Zoe Phonemes. And I'm a proud Texan from the East Texas town of Tyler. I am delighted to present this informative talk together with my colleague Professor Nathan Koltov. I really hope that you will like it. And remember, don't mess with Texas.
So get comfortable and now let's get the show on the road. For a complete discussion of YouTube navigation, please go to tiny.1/ytnavigator.
Introduction to Frankfurt. Where is Frankfurt?
Frankfurt am Main is the fifth largest city in Germany. Frankfurt am Main is on the Main River, a tributary of the Rhine.
This is a relief map of Germany. Frankfurt am Main is on the Main River, a tributary of the Rhine. It should not be confused with the much smaller city of Frankfurt. This is a more detailed view showing Frankfurt am Main and Frankfurt an der Oder just east of Berlin and on the border with Poland.
This shows Frankfurt an der Oder just east of Berlin and on the border with Poland. It is much smaller than Frankfurt am Main with a population of only 52,000.
Since 1992, the Main River has been connected to the Danube via the Rhine-Main-Danube Canal. There are 34 weirs and locks along the 380 kilometers navigable portion of the Main, from the Rhine near Mainz to the Rhine-Main-Danube Canal near Bamberg. This shows the Rhine with its two major tributaries, the Main and the Neckar.
This shows Frankfurt am Main in the German state or land of Hesse on the Main River, just a short distance from the confluence of the Main with the Rhine near Mainz.
This is a list of the population of the largest cities in Germany as of 2024. Frankfurt am Main is in fifth place with the city population of 650,000. This shows the metropolitan areas of the 10 largest cities in Germany. The city population of Frankfurt am Main is shown as 736,000. But the metropolitan area population is 3.245 million.
The Main is the longest tributary of the Rhine. It flows west through central Germany for 525 kilometers, 326 miles, to meet the Rhine below Rüsselsheim in Hesse. The cities of Mainz and Wiesbaden are close to the confluence.
The largest cities on the Main are Frankfurt am Main, Offenbach am Main and Würzburg. It is the longest river lying entirely in Germany.
This is a more detailed view of Frankfurt am Main and the region of the Main River near its confluence with the Rhine just south of Mainz. This is the region around Frankfurt am Main on the north side of the Main River. On the south side is the suburban city of Sachsenhausen. And just 4 miles, 7 kilometers, to the east is Offenbach. The history of Frankfurt. Frankfurt am Main has existed for over 1,500 years. from the time of the Roman Empire to the present day, and has undergone many changes.
This is Europe at the time of the death of the Charlemagne in 814. Note the Frankfurt am Main is in the center of the Frankish Empire at this time. Frankfurt am Main near Mainz is a very small settlement at this time.
7-94. First mention of Frankfurt. Frankfurt was first mentioned in written records in 794 AD as Frankoneford, which means the fort of the Franks. It was a small town located on the Main River in what is now Germany.
This is the Holy Roman Empire around the year 1000 AD.
This is a region of the Holy Roman Empire around the year 1000 AD, showing Frankfurt am Main in the Duchy of Franconia.
1152. City status granted. In 1152, Frankfurt was granted city status by the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick Barbarossa. This allowed the city to govern itself and become a center of trade and commerce.
1240. First trade fair. In 1240, Frankfurt held its first trade fair. This event brought merchants from all over Europe to buy and sell goods, making Frankfurt an important center of international trade. This shows the coronation of Archduke Joseph as King of the romanced Frankfurt Cathedral on April 3, 1764. 1552. Frankfurt Stock Exchange established. The Frankfurt Stock Exchange was established in 1552, making it one of the oldest stock exchanges in the world. It played a significant role in the growth of Frankfurt's economy.
This is Frankfurt in 1612.
Jews were expelled from Frankfurt in 1614.
This is the territory of the Free Imperial City of Frankfurt am Main in the mid-18th century. This is Frankfurt in 1770. Protected by walls and bastions. This is a view from Sachsenhausen, mountain of Sachsenhausen, to the north in 1845. 1848. Revolutions of 1848. In 1848, Frankfurt was a center of the revolutions of 1848, a series of uprisings across Europe that sought to establish democratic governments. Frankfurt became a hub of political activity during this time.
Frankfurt am Main became part of the Kingdom of Prussia in 1866.
After the defeat of France after the Franco-Prussian War of 1870, the new German Empire was proclaimed in 1871, with the King of Prussia becoming the Kaiser Wilhelm I.
Frankfurt am Main was now part of the new German Empire.
Frankfurt preserved its essentially medieval aspect as late as 1872.
This shows the territorial losses of Germany following the Treaty of Versailles in 1919.
The main synagogue in Frankfurt destroyed on Kristallnacht, November 9th to 10th, 1938.
1945. World War II and Reconstruction. Frankfurt was heavily damaged during World War II, with much of the city destroyed by Allied bombing in the post-war years. Frankfurt was rebuilt and became a major center of business and finance in Europe.
Frankfurt on the Main, 1940s aerial photograph from the northeast. Cathedral left. In the background, St. Paul's Church.
1944 aerial photograph of the cathedral during World War II. This is the memorial to the 11,134 Frankfurt citizens killed during the Holocaust. Anne Frank's name is located in the center of the picture with a rock placed on her memorial. After World War II, Germany was partitioned into 4 zones: American, British, French, and Russian. The 3 western zones then became West Germany, or the Federal Republic of Germany. Frankfurt am Main was in West Germany. 1990. German reunification. In 1990, Germany was reunified after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Frankfurt played a key role in the reunification process, as it was one of the major cities in the former West Germany. Today, Frankfurt is a thriving city with a rich history and culture. Frankfurt is now in the reunified Germany, in the state of Hesse, along with Offenbach, Darmstadt, and Wiesbaden.
The economy of Frankfurt.
This is the container port with Frankfurt in the background. This is the Höchst Industrial Park near Frankfurt.
This is the West Side Industrial Park of Frankfurt.
This is the Bull and Bear in front of the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. This is the Deutsche Börse trading floor in Frankfurt.
This is the new headquarters of the European Central Bank in the Ostend district. These are the twin towers of the Deutsche Bank.
Frankfurt points of interest. This is a map showing some of Frankfurt's main points of interest. These are primarily east of the Hauptbahnhof and close to the Main River. These are some of the principal points of interest in Frankfurt.
The S-Bahn, U-Bahn, and Straßenbahn provide quick access to many of the points of interest.
This is a map of the central Frankfurt region. Note again that most of the points of interest are east of the Hauptbahnhof and close to the Main River.
This detail of the center city region shows that the S-Bahn and U-Bahn provide quick access to many of the points of interest in the city center and the Altstadt, or Old Town.
Romerberg has been the sign of Frankfurt's City Hall since 1405. This historic building remains the defining symbol of the city's historic past.
This is a view of the area of Romerberg.
This shows the location of the Romerberg area in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. This is the historical city center of Frankfurt, with Frankfurt skyline behind. This is the medieval old town of Frankfurt before World War II. Around 75 air raids were carried out on Frankfurt during World War II. According to some accounts, Frankfurt was the most bombed city in the world at the time. In the firestorm of the March attacks in 1944, almost all the important cultural monuments and the entire medieval old town and the new town, with their more than 1,800 half-timbered houses, burned down.
The Domrömer Quarter is Frankfurt's new old town, spread across 7,000 square meters between Cathedral Square and the medieval Römer buildings that were more than 90% destroyed during the wars. The development opened in 2018 and includes 20 new buildings and 15 replicas.
Frankfurt City Hall Römer. Frankfurt City Hall Römer is on the western edge of Frankfurt's central Romerberg Square. The city's administrative headquarters is one of its most memorable landmarks. It is a masterpiece of medieval architecture characterized by a pink three-peaked facade, stepped gables and a domed bell tower. The Romerberg Platz is a large, open square in Frankfurt's Old Town. It features picturesque buildings and statues dating to the 15th century.
On the eastern side of the Romerberg is Zeil, a row of 11 faithfully reconstructed buildings destroyed in 1944. Another famous landmark is the Gerechtigkeit des Brunnen, Fountain of Justice, built in 1543. It's set in the middle of the square and depicts Goddess Justitia holding the scales of justice.
This is Romerberg 19-27 is seen from the Romerberg from southeast. This is the new Frankfurt Old Town was completed in 2018, including 15 reconstructed historical buildings. Hauptwache.
This shows the location of the Hauptwache in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
This is the Hauptwache in a postcard from 1918. The Hauptwache, main guard room, is Frankfurt am Main's central point and one of the city's most famous plazas, German, and der Hauptwache. It was changed from its original name, Schillerplatz, in the early 1900s. It lies west of Konstablerwache, and both squares are linked by the Zeil, the city's central shopping area.
This is the original Hauptwache or guardhouse with the cafe. The Zeil.
The Zeil is a street in Frankfurt city centre. Its name dates to the 14th century and is derived from the German word Zeile, which means row. It originally referred to a row of houses on the eastern end of the north side, and later, the name was extended to the entire street.
This shows the location of the Zeil in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. The Zeil runs from the Hauptwache to the Konstablerwache. Since the end of the 19th century, the Zeil has been one of Germany's most famous and busiest shopping streets. Before World War II it was also known for its grand buildings, but most were destroyed and not rebuilt. The western part of the Zeil is a pedestrian zone between two large squares, Hauptwache in the west and Konstablerwache in the east. These two squares are major intersections for underground trains, trams and buses. This is the Galeria Kaufhof, a department store on the Zeil.
The Zeil underwent a significant renovation from the spring of 2008 until the summer of 2009. The pedestrian zone was extended to the west as far as the Borsenstrasse. The Stadel Museum, Stadelisches Kunstinstitut und Stadtgalerie. The Stadel Museum, the Stadel Museum, Stadelisches Kunstinstitut und Stadtgalerie, is home to one of Europe's finest art collections. It is a highlight of Frankfurt's Museumsufer, or museum embankment, on the southern bank of the Main River. The museum's collection spans over 700 years of art history and includes more than 100,000 works of art. This shows the location of the Stadel Museum on the Museumsufer on the south bank of the Main River in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. The Stadel Art Museum boasts an impressive collection of paintings, drawings, and sculptures dating back to the early 14th century, as well as contemporary artwork and photographs. It was founded in 1815 by the banker and businessman Johann Friedrich Stadel and has since become one of the world's top-ranking museums. The Stadel Museum celebrates over 700 years of European art with 3,100 paintings, some of which were by renowned artists such as Rembrandt, Vermeer, Monet, Picasso, and Goethe. Audio guides in English and German and a guided tour is also available.
The Main Tower, at 200 meters, is one of Frankfurt's highest buildings and the fourth tallest building in Germany. An elevator goes the first 190 meters, and then there are stairs for the last 10 meters for incomparable city views.
The Main Tower is the first high-rise building in Europe with a facade made entirely of glass. The rooftop observation deck offers spectacular panoramas.
This shows the location of the Main Tower in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The Frankfurt Main Tower is a 56-story skyscraper with an open-air observation deck. This modern structure was completed in 1999 and currently houses several offices and businesses. Thanks to the observation deck on the highest floor, it's also a prominent tourist attraction.
Frankfurt's beloved Palmengarten is home to 50 acres of tropical trees, orchids, and ferns. It is considered one of Germany's best botanical gardens.
The Palmengarten, Palmengarten, is a massive botanic landscape in central Frankfurt. spanning 54 acres of winding paths, greenhouses, playgrounds, and colorful gardens.
In the late 19th century, architect Heinrich Siesmayer built the gardens to house the Duke of Nassau's exotic plant collection. Today, the gardens showcase thousands of specimens ranging from local flowers to rare tropical varieties.
The Frankfurt City Forest, Stadtwald, is one of the last vestiges of Germany's vast imperial forest.
The Frankfurt City Forest Stadtwald extends over 5,000 hectares, making the city one of Germany's most wooded urban areas. It is just 15 minutes outside the center and has a 450 kilometers hiking, running and cycling trail network.
The Frankfurt Cathedral in German is the Frankfurter Dom. It is officially the Imperial Cathedral of St. Bartholomew, Dom St. Bartholomäus or Kaiserdom St. Bartholomäus. This historic cathedral served 300 years as the site of coronation for Holy Roman Emperors.
The Frankfurt Cathedral is a beautiful Roman Catholic church that dates back to the 13th century. Located in the center of Frankfurt, the historic landmark is one of the area's most popular sites, and can easily be seen from a distance, thanks to its soaring 66-meter-tall tower. The Frankfurt Cathedral or St. Bartholomew's Cathedral is a Gothic-style stone church built between the 13th and 15th centuries. It's home to several impressive relics and sculptures, including St. Bartholomew's skullcap and a 16th-century statue of the Crucifixion by Hans Backhofen.
This shows the location of the Frankfurt Cathedral, Frankfurter Dom, in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The cathedral is also known for its 95-meter-tall tower. There is a climb of over 300 steps to the top to see Frankfurt from an impressive height. Note that to enter the tower, there is a fee of around €3, and it's only open between April and October.
The Frankfurt Cathedral, Frankfurter Dom, is one of Germany's grandest and most important cathedrals. It dates to the 13th century and dominates the city's skyline. The landmark was once where Holy Roman Emperors were crowned and today exhibits several major artworks, including Antonius van Dyck's Lamentation of Christ and Emil Schumacher's Job.
Inside the Frankfurt Cathedral, there are striking interiors and accents. Climbing 328 steps to the top of Cathedral Tower offers a panoramic view featuring the skyline, Old Town, and the Main River.
St. Paul's Church, Paulskirche.
This shows the location of St. Paul's Church, Paulskirche, in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. The fact that St. Paul's Church, Paulskirche, was one of the first buildings to be rebuilt after World War II says a lot about its importance. The landmark church is not only a center of worship but also played a significant role in Frankfurt's history, serving as the seat of the 1848 Frankfurt Parliament, the first freely elected German parliament.
This shows a session of the German parliament in the Paulskirche in 1848. The Alte Oper, or Old Opera House. Alte Oper, meaning Old Opera, is a former opera house in Frankfurt's inner city of Innenstadt. It was destroyed by Allied bombing in 1944. The beautifully reconstructed Opera House was reopened in 1981 and is now a major venue for concerts and operas.
Because of its history, the white open square in front of the Alte Oper, with its impressive fountain, is still called Opernplatz, meaning Opera Square.
The Alte Oper is an impressive architectural site, and at night is lit up in an impressive display of lights. It is now a major venue for classical concerts and opera.
The Senckenberg Natural History Museum, Naturmuseum Senckenberg.
This shows the location of the Senckenberg Natural History Museum, Naturmuseum Senckenberg, in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. The Senckenberg Natural History Museum has Europe's largest exhibition of dinosaur fossils and replicas. Located within Senckenberg Gardens, the three-story museum was founded in 1821 and has since become one of Frankfurt's most visited museums. One of its most impressive exhibits is the Messe Pit Fossil Site, Germany's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here, you can see well-preserved fossils of horses, turtles, and frogs over 50 million years old. Audio guides in German and English are available. Kleinmarkthalle.
This shows the location of the Kleinmarkthalle in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The Kleinmarkthalle is an indoor food hall with every manner of produce from many countries.
The Kleinmarkthalle encompasses 1,500 square meters and has nearly 160 market stalls of local food, flowers and other produce.
The Kleinmarkthalle stalls include cured meats and wine to honey-dried fruit nuts, handmade pasta and cheese in addition to regional delicacies. There are imports from all over Europe and beyond. Iron Bridge, Eiserner Steg.
The Eiserner Steg is a green steel footbridge that opened in 1869 and has become one of Frankfurt's iconic landmarks.
This shows the location of the Iron Bridge, Eiserner Steg, in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The Eiserner Steg is the only footbridge across the Main River. It links the Old Town in Romerberg Square on the north bank with Old Sachsenhausen and the Museumsufer, or Museum Embankment, on the south bank.
The German Film Museum, Deutsches Filminstitut and Filmmuseum.
The Deutsches Filminstitut and Filmmuseum, or DFF, is a leading international film heritage organization that preserves and shares motion picture films. The German Film Museum, Deutsches Filmmuseum, has an in-house cinema that shows old films. It also hosts permanent exhibitions about the history of cinema and film production and special shows devoted to specific filmmakers, film genres, and other topics. The Goethe House is where the legendary German writer Johann Wolfgang von Goethe lived his early years in the 18th century.
This shows the location of the Goethe House in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The Goethe House is a 17th-century building divided into 4 floors, each decorated with many original artifacts, furniture, and family portraits collected during Goethe's early years.
The writer's studio is located on the first floor, where Goethe wrote his best-selling novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther. Next to the Goethe House is the Goethe Museum, which has a collection of paintings from Goethe's youth in Frankfurt to his elder years in Weimar.
The Museumsufer or Museum Embankment.
Frankfurt am Main has earned a national reputation as a city of the arts. More than 2 million people visit the city's approximately 60 exhibition centers annually. Galleries also present a comprehensive range of contemporary painting, photography, and sculptural art.
In the 1980s, the Frankfurt city government came up with the idea of a boulevard of museums around the Stadel, a fine art museum with masterpieces spanning 7 centuries. Many new museums sprung up, some in transformed historic villas, others in new purpose-built buildings.
This shows the location of the Museumsufer in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
These are the Museum of the Museumsufer.
Today, the Museum Embankment, Museumsufer, hosts some of the most important museums in Germany, ranging from applied arts, Museum Angewandte Kunst and Architecture, Deutsches Architekturmuseum, de Film, Deutsches Filmmuseum. Jewish History, Jüdisches Museum. And Antique Sculpture, Liebig House. Other museums include the Ethnological Museum, Museum der Weltkulturen, with historical remnants of bygone times. A Bible Experience Museum and the Caricatura. A museum for comic art.
The English Theatre is the largest English-language theatre in continental Europe. Auditions and early rehearsals occur in London and New York City. As most actors are from abroad, Frankfurt has the largest expatriate population in Germany and the largest English-language theatre. Exhibitions and music have made the theatre home for the extensive English-speaking community. Old Sachsenhausen.
Old Sachsenhausen is on the south bank of the Main River across from Frankfurt. It is an atmospheric spot for walking to, and one of Frankfurt's liveliest nightlife districts. Old Sachsenhausen has cobblestone lanes, half-timbered buildings, and historic taverns that serve Frankfurt's beloved apple wine, or Apfelwein.
This shows the location of the Museumsufer in Old Sachsenhausen. This is a street in Sachsenhausen.
The Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The central station, Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, opened in 1888 as the central train station for Frankfurt to replace 3 smaller downtown train stations and boost travelers' needed capacity.
The Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof was constructed as a terminus station and was the largest train station in Europe by flue area until 1915, when the Leipzig Central Station was opened.
Messe Frankfurt, or the Frankfurt Trade Fair. The Messe Frankfurt, or the Frankfurt Trade Fair, is the world's largest trade fair, congress and event organizer with its own exhibition grounds.
Messe Frankfurt has 2,500 employees at some 30 locations and annual sales of €700 million. Its services include renting exhibition grounds, trade fair construction and marketing, personnel and food services.
This shows the location of the Frankfurt Fair Complex, Frankfurt Messe, in relation to the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof.
The Frankfurt Book Fair, or Frankfurter Buchmesse, is the world's largest book trade fair. It is held at the Frankfurt Messe for 5 days in mid-October.
Frankfurt Transportation.
Frankfurt has 4 main modes of public transportation. They are the buses, trams or Straßenbahn, surface trains or S-Bahn, and underground trains or U-Bahn.
This is map of routes of the public transportation network of Frankfurt.
This is a detailed map of the transportation network in the city center. The Frankfurt S-Bahn.
The Frankfurt S-Bahn or Stadtschnellbahn has 9 lines with 113 stations with a total system length of 303 kilometers, 188 miles.
This is the Rhein-Main S-Bahn route map. This is a map of the S-Bahn and U-Bahn routes in Frankfurt.
The Frankfurt U-Bahn, or Untergrundbahn, opened in 1968 and consists of 3 inner-city tunnels and above-ground lines in the suburbs. About 59% of the track length is underground.
This is a map of the S-Bahn and U-Bahn routes in Frankfurt city center.
This is the Rhein-Main S-Bahn route map of the Frankfurt region.
This is the Frankfurt Rhein-Main International Airport.
These are terminal buildings of the Frankfurt Rhein-Main International Airport.
This is the landside main hall of Terminal 2 of the Frankfurt Rhein-Main International Airport.
This is the square at the Frankfurt Rhein-Main International Airport.
From the Frankfurt Airport, or Flughafen in German, the S8 and S9 trains run into the city every 10 minutes, as do the ICE and IC trains to destinations further away.
The Frankfurt Hop-on Hop-off bus.
For the first-time visitor, a good way to see the sights of Frankfurt is a hop-on hop-off tour bus.
The Grey Line Frankfurt sightseeing offers a choice of 2 routes, plus a one-who cruise on the Main River.
This is the map showing the Grey Line Frankfurt sightseeing routes and the cruise on the Main River. The Grey Line Frankfurt sightseeing has 2 routes, the Express, which costs €19 and has 13 stops, and it lasts 1 hour. The Skyline Tour, on the other hand, costs €23 and has 16 stops, and it lasts 2 hours. Departures on the Grey Line Frankfurt sightseeing are several times each day from St. Paul's Cathedral, Romer Town Hall, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Commentary is available in English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Chinese, Portuguese, Russian, and Korean.
On the express route, buses pass every 15 to 30 minutes from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The entire route takes 1 hour to complete. On the Skyline Frankfurt route, buses come by every 30 minutes from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the entire route takes 2 hours to complete.
A 1-hour Frankfurt panoramic cruise on the Main River, with commentary in English and German, is available for €15 or with a combo ticket for €32.
The official currency of Germany has been the euro since 2002, when it replaced the Deutsche Mark.
The current exchange rate between US dollars and euros is $1 equals 0.91 euros, and €1 equals 1.09 US dollars.
Currency exchange rates can change daily. For the latest exchange rate, go to xc.com.
The climate of Frankfurt.
Will it be hot? Or will it be cold in Frankfurt?
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year in Frankfurt. Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Celsius throughout the year in Frankfurt.
Rainfall in Frankfurt.
Here is the average rainfall in inches throughout the year in Frankfurt. The total yearly rainfall is 27.3 inches, or 690 millimeters. Here is the average rainfall in millimeters throughout the year in Frankfurt.
Here is the average number of days per month, with rainfall, throughout the year in Frankfurt. We see that it rains about 5 days, every month, throughout the year.
Recommended videos. Frankfurt.
Recommended video, Top 10 Things to Do in Frankfurt 2024. Germany Travel Guide. Recommended video, 25 Best Things to Do in Frankfurt, Germany.
Recommended video, Frankfurt Travel Guide 2022 Best Places to Visit in Frankfurt. Recommended video, History of Frankfurt.
Recommended video, YouTube navigation.
Recommended videos. Walking tours of Frankfurt. For a street-level experience of XXX. View the video walking tours. It's the next best thing to being there.
Recommended video, Frankfurt 2022. Germany walking tour. Recommended video, Frankfurt Financial District and Historical Town walking tour. Recommended video, Frankfurt walking tour 4K Germany City Walk.
Recommended video, Discover Frankfurt's hidden gems, a scenic walking tour. Recommended videos, Frankfurt playlist.
Table of contents. Frankfurt.
Thanks for watching. Please watch some more of my great videos.